Greetings CCG fans, Ravendark here. So I had a Bant mill game that I wanted to highlight because the lethal setup was very good. So I was able to get an exact lethal. So I thought I would share. This hand, it looks pretty good. We have our search for Azcanta into Champion of Wits, which is exactly the sort of thing that we'd like to see. We also have a Fumigate for future removal, and now we even have double plains or white mana so that we can actually play the Fumigate as long as we draw one additional land. So here I'm considering that I might want to cycle the Desert of the True. It turns out that I won't, but because I need it for the Fumigate. But I wanted to leave that option open. And we are playing against a white heal deck. And we don't really care if our opponent heals because we're not trying to attack their health total. We just want to attack their cards. So we totally don't mind. So yeah, I'm very interested in playing Champion of Wits on the next turn. And yep, he's gaining some life. And the Ajani's Pridemate is pretty scary. I mean, it's very fortunate that we have the Fumigate in hand. And strategic planning, yep, that's something I want to keep. And I go ahead and play the island and then the Champion of Wits. And of course with Champion of Wits, it's always kind of scary. Hard to decide exactly what you want to get rid of sometimes. Here, the patient rebuilding is a little bit too slow, so I'm going to dump that along with the forest. Since we only really need one forest to make this deck work. Yeah, I was considering dumping the Desert of the True, but no, I definitely want to hold on to that. And since we actually have our 5th land when we drew the Sun Petal Grove, I can definitely Fumigate on turn 5. So, but in the meantime, we're going to take a little bit of a beating from the Ajani's Pridemate. That's okay. It's kind of the way it works. Take a beating, then you get to heal back up a little bit with the Fumigate, and also with Tatyova. So here I have the option of keeping the cast out. Since I don't have any other removal post Fumigate, I decided I'll go ahead and hold on to it. Now I need to play Desert of the True so that next turn I'll have the Ipnu Rivulet available. But yeah, strategic planning first is the way to go. And since I already have the cast out, the seal away, don't really need that as much, so Psychic Corrosion is definitely what I want to keep here, so that we can actually start our game plan. Now our opponent's going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage to us with the Ajani's Pridemate. So when I block here, I'm not concerned about killing the Mesa Unicorn. I just need to make sure that Ajani's Pridemate doesn't deal too much damage to me. So I'll definitely be blocking the Pridemate with the champion here. Yep. Could have done that a bit faster, but that's okay. And the slow buffing of Ajani Pridemates. And of course it's going to heal and have to do this again. And the land, I think I go ahead and toss that in the graveyard so that I can transform the Azcanta, which I do. And we get to draw a seal away, which will be nice later on. But for now, Fumigate is the way, what has to happen, especially with their opponent showing lethal on the following turn. Just couldn't survive if we didn't have that Fumigate, which makes it so awesome. Okay, so here we have enough mana to play both the Psychic Corrosion and the Trophy Mage. Trophy Mage will be nice to get out our Crucible of Worlds so that we can start playing the lands from our graveyard that we binned earlier. Of course, that's what I'll be doing, picking up a Crucible of Worlds, and that's the whole purpose of the Trophy Mage. Trophy Mage is also there to stem some of the bleeding from early aggressive plays from our opponent, but wasn't really what we needed. So both Shalai and the War Leader, they're pretty heavy threats. So in this case, I'm going to be removing both of them since I do have removal for both. Sealing away Shalai first and then casting out the War Leader. So seal away and then I cast out. So I was kind of considering maybe I don't need to, but yeah, since it creates additional creatures and we don't have a Fumigate in hand, really needed to get rid of that War Leader. And I did attack with the Trophy Mage. It really wasn't necessary. Drawing another Fumigate is nice. We'll probably aren't going to need to play it for the rest of the game. Now attacking here was a mistake. I should not have attacked here. There's really no reason for me to do that. I should have just held it back for the Mesa Unicorn. No reason at all. I think I thought I had 7 mana to play the Champion of Wits, but definitely a mistake. Should not have done that. Because we're already, at a -8 life. There's really no need to sacrifice any additional health. That is an unnecessary risk to take. But I do play the Crucible of Worlds, and I did play a land from the graveyard. So now we'll actually have 8 mana next turn to play around with. And our opponent is binding away or seal away to get their Shalai back, which is fine. Yep, I'm going to take 2 damage here that I didn't have to take. I go ahead and use Search for Azcanta to get another Psychic Corrosion. And with 8 mana, we can actually Fumigate and Psychic Corrosion this turn. And that's what I'm thinking about there. So I was considering whether to play the Psychic Corrosion first. This really doesn't matter. May as well just Fumigate first, make sure I don't accidentally mess up the mana situation. And having double Psychic Corrosion along with Champion of Wits is going to be disgusting. So, 4 times 2 times 2. Ends up being 16 cards that they're going to mill when I play the Champion of Wits. And there it goes. 16 cards. And also drawing a Strategic Planning means there's another 4 cards that will be discarded. And here, of course, I can just dump the lands into the graveyard since I can play them from the graveyard. fact, I'll be playing one of them right now. I'm playing the Strategic Planning. I'll take the Tatyova, because of course the lands, can leave them in the graveyard. Having Evolving Wilds is fantastic, since we can mill the opponent for 8 cards. And at this point, I believe our opponent has 12 cards left. So we actually have exact lethal here with Tatyova. Yeah, so now they only have 12. So once we play Tatyova, Evolving Wilds, we can Ipnu Rivulet for the win. So it's pretty cool when the mill strategy works. It's a nice way to win, and the opponent's still at 30 life, but it just doesn't even matter. And there goes the Psychic Corrosion. Only 8 cards left. Sacrifice Evolving Wilds to fetch an island. And then, of course, Ipnu Rivulet, since they only have 4 cards left. Took me a moment to target the face, but I did find it eventually. And of course, all that's left to do is to pass the turn. And that'll do it.